Your imagination is one of your strongest powers to tap into. It's a strength that many people write off, but don't do that. If you want to really, really master the art of calling in things faster than you ever thought was possible, you have to start using your imagination. And you have to see what you want, imagine what you want, feel what you want, sense into what you want, as if it's already happened, as if it's true. So no separation, no doubt, no niggle, no, that's not true. That hasn't happened. You have to be in it. You have to feel it as real for you and be grateful for that experience as if it has already happened. So what gets in the way of this? Because this can be challenging for many people much of the time. So the perspective that if you don't see it, it's not real. Just a note on that. There's so many things that you don't see that are real. Think about if you have a dog. Your dog hears things that you don't hear. Have you ever gotten one of those squeaky toys that you can't hear the squeak on, but they can hear the squeak on and they go crazy? It's amazing. They love it, and it doesn't make a squeaky noise that you can hear. That doesn't mean that the squeaky noise isn't here. It is here. It's just that you can't sense it with your senses, but it doesn't mean that it's not here. And same thing with the sense of smell. Your dogs smell things that you don't smell. I take my dog out every morning to go to the bathroom, and it's like a brand new world for him. He's out there on the patio just smelling everything, all the new scents. And it's a world that I'm not part of, but it's very much there. You know that it's there. You just can't, I can't see it. I can't smell it. I can't taste it, but it's very much there. So just because you don't see it or sense it with your senses doesn't mean that it isn't here. You have to get beyond that perspective. Okay, so another thing that gets in the way of using your imagination and truly stepping into experiencing that which you desire in advance of it being made manifest is not believing that it's possible, not having the belief in it. And what might cause that? I'm going to give you two things here. The lack of clarity on what you desire and the lack of belief that it's available for you. So you might be clear about what you desire, but think, that's not available for me, not for someone like me. It would work for someone else. Someone else could have that, but not for me. I can't have that beautiful life. I can't have those beautiful friendships. I can't have that much money. I can't have that sexy body. I can't have that ease and spaciousness and abundance and peace or whatever it is that you're going for. I know it's out there, but it's not for me. So that's one way of stopping it. The first one is, though, a lack of clarity about what you want. You just have so much blocking you internally that you can't even claim what you truly want. I find that this is a big one. I know it was for me when I first started this process. I didn't know what I really truly wanted. All I could do was say, I don't want this. I was in the negative. I was in the I don't want him to be like this. I don't want my clients to be like that. I don't want my house to be like this. But I couldn't claim what I truly desired. And this is so important to recognize in yourself if you're in that place. Let's go deeper here. Let's take an example. Let's take something that you really want. I'm going to use a Thanksgiving example, like having a beautiful time with your family on Thanksgiving. But there's a big but here. All your past has been a different experience for you. So it's very hard for you to believe that it's possible for you. And you might not even see it. But let's say you do see it. And now you want to claim it, but you're like, but Aunt Jo always comments on my weight and digs into my relationships or my lack thereof, or talks about how I'm never going to be as good as little Susie over here. cousin Susie, right? Like that's Aunt Jo. That's your past experience of Aunt Jo. She always shows up that way at Thanksgiving. You have this idea, you want it to be different, but Aunt Jo is Aunt Jo. How is it ever going to be different? Or maybe it's your brother who's always complaining about the economy, his health, or his struggles at work, or his boss, right? And you're like, that's heavy. That brings me down. I don't want to talk about it. But Brother Joe is always like that. How will I ever get anything different, or have anything different, or experience anything different? Or your cousin who always talks politics and feeds and ferments dissent at the table, and you're like, I just don't want the fights at the table. But cousin just does that every single year. And so how can you escape your knowledge of the past, that it's always been this way? And you get locked in thinking that it's going to be this way always. You're committed to that past experience in some ways. So your past is determining your future. Your past is determining your future. It's driving all the possibilities that you see as available in general, but also available to you. And you feel it in your body. It's like when you look to a new possibility, okay, this is what I truly desire, you feel this tightness under the surface because Aunt Jo has always been Aunt Jo. And you're like, but I can't quite get there. I can't move beyond my past experience. And it's like that feeling becomes the destination again, and you start imagining Aunt Jo saying the same things over and over and over again. And it's like a GPS, right? A destination that you're going towards.